Hi, welcome back to Event Ready Podcast, where we talk about our roller coaster ride on being live event artists.
If you're a painter, calligrapher, or illustrator, this podcast is for you because we are about to uncover the secrets, the stories, and the struggles of the industry.
And we're your hosts. I'm Talisa.
I'm Isabel.
Welcome back. So much tea on last episode about agency.
It got a little heated.
It did. It's gonna get hotter and spicier this
Ew.
one.
Yeah. So,
So
just a
buckle up.
warning in advance. Yeah.
Yeah, buckle up.
The last episode, we talked all about talent agencies and all the issues that may arise and that we have seen or personally experienced, subjected to the violence.
The violence. That's so funny.
And this episode, what are we focusing on about the agency topic, Talisa?
Oh, we're kind of noticing a trend that we don't like. The trend where, say you're an artist, and then you got so busy. You got so busy. You used to refer the jobs. And then you realize I can make money more by not having to be there. I can be an agent. Because I now have a lot of client base in my network. So I can now hire artists to work on my behalf and make more money that way. Sounds like a great business idea, right? Right?
Monetize the network.
Yes, monetize my colleagues. I mean, why would I want to refer when I can make money off them and gatekeeping the client contacts? Brilliant, right? So that's what we're going to be talking about today.
I mean, okay, listen, we talked about it already a little bit on the subcontracting episode. It was like a little taste test.
That was like, let's see how our community feels. Like, do you think people are going to spill more tea? Oh, people did. And we're like, you know what? Maybe we should talk about this then.
Yeah, people spilled some scary tea actually, because I don't know, this is not something I have a whole ton of firsthand experience about, but listening to some of the stories out there, it's like, whoa,
indeed.
it's a little scary out there. I don't know.
So toxic.
Some of these cities and countries out there are I'm grateful I'm not there, first of all.
Oh, we would not let that happen in Canada. That's one thing for sure. These mama bears are not going to let that happen. We'd be like, listen, you're not welcome in our market.
We're not doing any of that.
We're vigilant. Vigilant as shit.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, what's the big problem? Why is it bad?
Why is it bad? It seems like a great business idea, though. Right?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, they're my client. My client, not yours. I've literally fought with someone on thread before. So this is why it's not a great idea, not a good one. But we do notice the trend, artists to become agency kind of pathway, where they're so taking care of the logistics and transactions. Where, so this is how it works. A client reach out to you, right? And then they're like, oh, we need an artist. And then you're like, oh, do you need to have artists in different cities? I have a team of artists that I can hire for your events. And the client be like, that's such a good idea. We don't have to deal with it. But the problem is, it's the desire of underpaying the artist, the desire of like, hey, I can make more money by finding someone who's a beginner who just entered the industry, maybe not that great yet. The skill is not there yet. Or maybe they're great, but they're just new. So I'm just gonna like, tell them like, yeah, this is how much you get charged, how much we charge, how much you get paid. And then like I can make or earn more and more money and then gatekeeping and then like it just how do I say it? It's just it becomes um toxic. It becomes a very unhealthy competition within the community as opposed to you just referring the job to someone and then you forget and then you keep referring those jobs and it'll and then they're gonna refer back to you and it's just a lot more supportive community versus just trying to monopolize the industry.
Yeah. Consider the scenario where let's do like client A and client B.
Mhm.
Let's say Isabel has client A. I've worked with them before and they're coming to me again. And instead of saying, okay, hey, Talisa, like I can't do this thing. So can you here's the opportunity, like go ahead and client A talks to Talisa. She's a good friend, she's good at this. Go on with this relationship, right? Um that's a referral, like you said. And then the scenario of like going um are we calling it subcontracting? I guess it is. To say like, okay, well, actually, I'm not available, but I'm gonna find you another artist, and then so I keep this client A, under my umbrella, my book, whatever you want to call it, and then in the hopes that client A always works with me to find other people.
Mm.
Okay, this is what this is, right? But when you do the handoff with client A to Talisa, the next time Talisa is gonna be like, well, that was like a really nice thing she did. Next time client B comes to me and I'm not available, I'm gonna give client B to Isabel. And that's like it's like a more healthy win-win rather than the other situation where like, oh, Talisa has client B, and then like, oh, I'm gonna subcontract Isabel for client B. And so
Mm.
where it's like the end situation is the same, right? In like
Mm.
two different worlds. One is like we just continue on with these two relationships
Mhm.
independently. I've now taken client B, you've now taken client A, and we're both happy and we're happy and healthy. In this situation, we also ended up working with client A and B switch over, but we're both being subcontracted. This is like in the end, what's the difference, right? If we're
Yeah.
obviously this is a very simplified example. I just want to like spell out that like one creates like a better relationship and the other one is like, I'm your boss, this is my client, you work for me for this client.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um and then we're both going to act this way with each other. Like that's not like it's just
It's
like
just
that doesn't create a healthy like um relationship with your community and who
yeah.
is in fact like your competitor inside your market. Like why shouldn't we try to foster a better relationship with them?
Mhm. And as much as you want to think like, no, they actually help me find jobs. Sure. Yeah, but like you always have that feeling of like, I can only get jobs if I'm friends with them, if I'm being nice to
Hmm.
them, if I'm their favorite. There's going to be favoritism. There's going to be how do I say it? Like a feeling of what's the word? I feel like what's the word?
Popularity.
Yeah, and then it just feels like okay, if that person does not like me even just a little bit, if I say something that like I didn't mean to say, they're not gonna hire me again. They're just going to be like, oh, I don't like that person said this. And then,
Hmm.
even though their work is beautiful, I'm never gonna hire them again. I'm never gonna like, you know, I'm not gonna refer them to like give them the job anymore. It's like as if like now you're doing a power play. Like now you're
Mm-hmm.
trying to be like I'm better than you, as opposed to like we're all equally skilled colleagues. And
Mm-hmm.
it's just not friendly anymore. And when
It's
it
not
gets
friendly anymore.
yeah,
Yeah.
when one person starts doing this agency thing and then they become so well at it, right? And then imagine like, that artist A start to dominate the market. Artist B is just as equally as good. Now start feeling like I can just do the same thing. And then artist B
Uh-huh.
also gonna start an agency again. Same. Now it's like, and then artist C, D, E, F, G to like Z now has like, yeah, they can work for both agent artists, but there's gonna be this like, obviously,
Animosity.
yeah, and they're probably shit talking too, and like, like, oh well, I got paid for this much, I got paid for that, like, it's just creating layers of competition that it's not even necessary. It's just creating that, yeah, animosity, like what you said. Whereas you can just refer every job that you cannot do, and then everyone is equally an agent to themselves, you
Mm-hmm.
know, when you need to have multi-artist event, that's when you can subcontract. That's when you can be like the main of contact just for the great client experience, right? But when
Yes.
you're not even there and you're just subcontracting, I just feel like once you do it, once you start doing it, you're gonna start being a capitalist. You're gonna start finding ways to like cut down costs and earning more money. And then
And then basically you experience all of the issues that we
yeah,
talked about in the last episode.
exactly.
Like once you cross over the line, you're like, "Oh, wait a minute. Like I can just not be there and still get paid."
And
Once
then
you
how yeah,
realize once you
yeah,
realize that and you go down that road, um we're humans.
yeah. And then once you
You're
get to
gonna
that road, how am I
yeah.
gonna maintain my clients? Oh, I'm gonna start imposing those agreements
Rules,
where
yeah.
the non-compete, the no soliciting, and
Hmm.
what else did we say? Like promotional pictures. Your picture is mine. I am never tagging you. And then they're
Mhm.
gonna create that power play.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna white label you. You're working for me. You're working on behalf of my business. Like I'm gonna puke if I ever see that. Like it just oh, like you are your own artist, and then and then you're gonna use someone else's portfolio, but I might necessarily hire that person, and then just like, and then you're
It's
gonna
a
start,
it's like a slippery slope. It just gets kind of
yeah,
like
yeah,
snowballs as it goes on. And
yeah,
every little step feels like a good business decision, right? Like,
mhm,
by the way, all of this will have good business reason. Okay.
mhm,
I'm not saying that this won't make you money. By the way,
mhm.
you and I are not stupid. We know
You know
that an
that.
agency is capable of making money without
Mhm,
being there. We get it. So there's gonna be people out there like, well, like this is a good business decision or this is a good business transaction because if I were this, I would also not want them to steal my client. This and this. Wouldn't you want that? There's gonna be people who are gonna say stuff like that and try to justify this. Like we know there's a good business reason to
mhm,
write 20 different clauses in a contract to handcuff an artist from stealing your client. We know,
mhm,
of course. That's a good business decision. But is it ethical? Is it what we should see in our industry? Is it what we want? Is this what you as an artist would have wanted 5 years ago
mhm.
before you went down this path? Um, is this what we want to see for the future of the
Yeah.
industry? Like,
This is this is a way of I'm gonna use a girl boss term, scaling up,
Yeah.
scaling your business.
Scaling your business,
Yeah,
scaling your
sounds
business,
yeah,
scaling your business.
yeah, sounds like a great idea. It is, but at the cost of your relationship with your community,
Yeah.
and it's not healthy. We've seen things, and it's just not sustainable. Like you're gonna
And it's also
create,
hard to come back from, right? Like
yeah,
once you've like stepped your foot in it and you're kind of like, "Oh, like I'm going to be different. I'm going to be the agency that, treats people right or whatever." And you may very well have great intentions. I'm not saying that that's not possible, right? Um but things take a wrong turn one way or another, and then you can't come back from that, right? Like once people in your community catch on to like, oh, like what's this about? Oh, I don't like that they did that. Oh, I don't like this in the contract. Why would they do that? Once you have a reputation or like people are kind of unhappy about it, it's very hard to come back from that. And then you're gonna try to look for new business reasons to do other things. And
and then your great artists in your roster supposedly are gonna start leaving, and then start to feel like what am I doing this? I
yeah.
can get my own clients, but hey, you can't because you signed that non-compete agreement. And then it just, oh my god, I it's just not sustainable. And would it be nice if you can just like distribute the wealth ethically? Everyone at the end of the day are still doing the job, you
Mhm.
know? Whereas one artist agency just kind of like monopolizing the market, and then everyone else get less and you get the most. And I have a hard time accepting that. However, it does happen to a lot of markets. Um Thankfully not in Canada, but like we've
Mhm.
definitely seen it, and we have heard from the other end, the artists testimonials themselves. They do not like it. They're not happy about it. And then, they just
But they have to pretend to
they have
look
to
like they're
pretend to
happy
like
about it,
you.
which is
Yeah.
really, really, really like really frustrating because it's like it looks like on the surface everything's kind of functioning. It's like, oh, I'm happy. I'm happy to get a job from them because well, like I didn't get a job myself, so why wouldn't I just take this job and just do it? And it's like it's no big deal. Like, oh, they're handling a contract for me. Like that's a value add. Um, sure, right?
Sure,
But
you're
then
happy.
yeah, and then at the end of the day, it's like, but it's like getting this is nice, but we know and people tell us, isn't it better?
Mm,
Don't you prefer? Well, don't you want to just work for yourself? Right? It's like, oh, did we all get into the freelance game so we can work for somebody else? Like it's frustrating
it
to
is.
see artists kind of talk themselves into um thinking like, oh no, like this is a good setup for me. It's like, oh, well, it is to gain experience, maybe. Like if there's a goal, like there's a point to it. It's a temporary thing. But like, and I'm gonna speak from the other perspective a little bit, like from the agency perspective. It's like when you when you refer a job, you not only are you saying like, hey, I'm sharing the wealth, I'm like abundant thinking and all that stuff, you're also
Mhm.
empowering another
Yeah.
artist who actually, maybe they're less experienced than you at doing live
Mhm.
events. And then, maybe they don't have like the fancy CRM. Maybe they don't have, e-sign contracts or whatever. But the fact that you've just said like, hey, this is my client I've worked with for like 5 years, but I'm not able to make this date. Like, go ahead and, here you go. Like, this is the opportunity. Are you free? If so, I'll let them know to contact you. You're kind of like giving them the power to grow from that,
Mm,
right?
mm,
You're saying
yeah.
like, hey, like I trust you, like your work is good. Like, why don't you just go ahead, right? And then they get to experience all the things that you got to experience when you were starting out and trying to figure this stuff out. And they're like, oh, like I gotta prepare a contract, I gotta prepare an invoice, I gotta do all this stuff, like to make sure I'm representing her well. And this creates like a really positive feedback loop, right? Like you're empowering them, they feel empowered, they're doing this event, and then it results in a really positive feeling. Whereas
Exactly.
if you're just like, oh hey, like I need somebody to do this thing, like are you free on this day? Okay, I'm gonna tell you when to show up, what to wear, and what to do, and then I'm gonna pay you at the end of the day. And that's like it's a transaction, right? It's not that
Mm,
it's like a in the artist who's being subcontracted. In their perspective, it's not like, oh my god, I hate working for someone. No, you might have just shown up, done the job, gone home, and you're like, wow, like that was a good paycheck. But in the end, you've gained nothing, right? Like you haven't grown from that other than the fact that, like, yes, you did an on-site job, but you haven't. I don't know. It's like it's not moving forward. You haven't been
yeah.
empowered to move forward with that and grow and be able to work with other clients from that experience. So
Mhm,
it's
mhm.
like overall, it's just like it's not a we're not creating any value, I guess is what I'm
Yeah,
trying to say.
exactly. I do want to mention, I do want to recognize there are some artists who are just happy to just show up and not deal with
Mm-hmm.
it. Man, I totally get that. But I think what at least the least that you can do is watch out for those agreement that they want you to sign, like those red flags like non-compete and like non-soliciting and all that stuff. Um, because those are the ones that will block you from actually growing as a business. I'm sure when you starting this business, it's just a human nature that you always want to grow, right? Even if it's just a little bit, right? So like yes, you might be like, okay, yeah, I'm happy to work with agency and what it works out for my business because it's not my main thing. Yes, I fully understand that. But then again, like it's not like the issue about artists accepting the job. It's the issue of like how does the agent
Mm-hmm.
deal with you? Uh how do they work with you? Is there agreement that are like doesn't seem like it's going to benefit you? It's only benefiting them. Like those are the things that I like, you have a power to say no to. You can still work with them, but you know, voice those concerns
Mm-hmm.
if you feel like it's wrong. And yeah. Mhm.
And there is, the scenario where kind of like this kind of sucks, but I just need to get out there and have some experience. Again, this is something we said in the last episode.
Mhm.
We're just not judging artists for taking jobs.
No.
We're gonna take jobs for when we need the money, we need the experience, we need something from it, and we take that job. We're getting something from it. And that price is personal.
Mhm.
So it's we just want to give you as many tools and as many magnifying glasses
Mhm.
to to be able to spot where potential issues are, and what could be good, could be bad, um, and that you're making like an informed decision
Decision. That's
so
what
that
we're hoping.
yeah, and that you're not being led down a path where you're thinking like, wow, like this is really truly a win-win. It's like, yeah, it can be for this time. But like, is it coming back to you? What is this relationship affording you? And if any of that doesn't make total sense to you, like now you'll know why, because we're kind of talking about it. We're kind of talking about all the issues that we've experienced, that we've been subjected to or we've seen, and it's not good.
Yeah, it's not good at all. And I know there's, that feeling of scarcity mindset where you're just entering this market and then it's going to be hard to get something. Yeah, you'll need an agent. Yeah, it's fine. But when you're in a market where everyone just so used to referring, and I think there's beauty in it. There's just so powerful about referring a job. This has happened, as by observation many times where, you're referring a job to a new client that you've never worked with, um, uh, to another artist, and then the client now goes to the artist. They really like working with the artist, the other artist, and then and they have a good relationship now, and it's not a loss for you. You did not lose a client, you know and when that artist that you recommended that has been working with that new client, suddenly they're not able to work because they're unavailable, they'll be happily refer the job back to you when if you're available. So there's like a lot of give and take and very healthy relationship, very healthy competition, mm, to refer and then just hoping for the best
Mhm.
versus like
Yeah, it's a leap of faith, right? And
yeah,
we've seen it pay off, and
we've
we've
seen it
seen,
definitely.
yeah, like it's just it's scary.
It could be scary. It's a risk.
It is.
You don't know who you trust sometimes.
And of course, like that feeling of loss, like, oh no, like now they work with them and that sucks. I Of course, we're human. We're gonna feel like we lost something. But on the overall, you just have to believe, like you said, that it's coming back to you. And like you're building good karma for the industry. You're building good karma in the community. And that it's how you've made somebody else feel. And that's like it's such a positive impact. It's way bigger than what that job you referred away
Mm-hmm.
costed you, you know? Like, it still sucks every time. I'm like, oh, I really wanted to work with this client, but I'm not here or I'm not available or whatever
Mm-hmm.
it is. And you have to send them away. And it's you just have to be like, I hope you come back. Because sometimes they do, and
And
sometimes
you
they
know
move
what?
on, and
Even
it's
if they don't come
fine.
back, another one coming. It's like,
Yeah, another one's coming. It's okay.
yeah, there's so like it's abundant of opportunities. Like of my experience, having been doing this since 2019, like my calendar's been like busier and busier and busier, and I have to like referring jobs to the point that I just have like a template. Here's the people you can reach out. I'm not available. Like I don't even reach
Yes.
out to the people in my list anymore. Hey, are you available? I'm not gonna do
No.
that. I'm just gonna like here. These are people. You can ask if they're available or not because it just I don't want to do the admin. Like I don't want to have to like have. I want to minimize the amount of communication as much as I can so I can focus on my relationship and my client that booked me. So like uh, it's just like normalizing referral is just it's just so fair with everybody. It is much more sustainable. You don't have this weird relationship with the people in your community. I'm sure there is a little bit, because you could be having favoritism who you want to refer to, right?
Yeah.
But we know that, but at
That's
least
just a network, though.
that's just a network
That's just
thing,
what it
right?
is. You're going to be closer with some colleagues and some not.
Yeah,
That's just depending
that's
on
trusting,
depending on
right?
relation. Yeah, depends on your
Yeah.
relationship.
Yeah.
And going back to what you said about admin, I just want to point out, even if you love admin, okay, even if you don't mind doing it, it doesn't mean you should be doing it. Okay.
Yeah.
Like we again, like the business reason argument. It's like, well, like I don't mind doing the invoicing and the contracting and that. Like, yeah, I get it. Like it's not a big deal to you. And maybe it's even benefiting the other artists that you're hiring because they don't like doing that stuff. So it feels like a win-win, feels like a good business reason,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
In the end, though, you are just creating this inequality of like, you're hiring me, your client is me. Like this whole thing, like it can be completely avoided.
Absolutely, completely avoid it. And I want to talk about something that I've seen that I find crazy to me. So we're both belong to the illustration and calligraphy community, right? They're
Mhm.
two very different communities. Sometimes it overlaps, sometimes it doesn't. We happen to be overlapping, so I've seen things. We've seen things. So I've seen like an artist that had been subcontracted for illustration happened to be using the hired artist's branded paper. So basically, the paper that the artist is working on the job had to use the paper provided by the hired artists who are not on the job and have the branding of that main artist. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like the hiring artist who's not there, their logo and their name.
Is on the paper.
So you're representing somebody else. You're basically pretending to be them.
Yeah.
You're like a shadow puppet.
You're being white labeled. You're working under another artist's name. And I think that is crazy to me.
Yes.
Because like you work hard to get your skills, to attain the skills, and it's someone else's signature. That's insane to me.
This goes back to the whole employer thing. It's like
Mm.
also paying my healthcare.
Like, yeah, you don't own your own art.
This is not an art company where this is like one of your 20 staff artists.
This is literally hand drawn. You did it. No one else's. Like, you can have the client's branded, personalized, like paper, but not another artist's brand. Like, that's just as simple as that. But like, it's insane. I think that's predatory.
Well, yeah,
Mhm.
because in the end, you're still just trying to say, I'm your client. You show up as me. You don't market anything but me. You don't have a name. You don't have a brand. You work for me.
Mhm.
It's
Not cool.
yeah, it's creating that like power thing. It's like I pay you, I own you. It's like it's very uncomfy. And if
It's very
somebody
unnecessary.
asks you, you are gonna reply, I work for blah.
I don't have a name.
I
I
don't
only
have a
have a
name.
hand.
Yeah, my hand.
Do not talk to me.
You may not talk to the artist. We do not have a face or a mouth.
Yeah, like that's insane. Like that main artist could have just referred the job.
Mhm.
Simple as that. Just
Yeah.
because this person got inquired first, and then they became like the money transaction. Like then you have I don't know. I'm very like bothered when I saw that. But yeah, that happens. I can't see that happening in calligraphy community, obviously, because like you're engraving, it's like a product, you can't even sign your own thing, right? But for
Yeah.
like illustration, when you're sketching, that is your work. That's your observation, that's your eyes working, that's your hand working, that's your brain working. Like why would you let someone else's branding, you know?
You just wouldn't want that happen to you. So
Yeah.
why are we doing it to other people?
Yeah. Why
I
would you let?
wouldn't want I wouldn't like I wouldn't want to draw a whole thing and then sign it to Lisa. Like, why would I do
Yeah.
that?
See.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. I wouldn't want that. So are we inflicting that on somebody else?
Yeah. It's insane. Ah. Yeah, so I think like that's like one red flag that I've predatory behavior that I've seen in the illustration community that I find really, really crazy. But yeah, it's happened. I don't know if it's still happening. I did see it recently again, and I'm just like, that's crazy, man. Like you're saying yes to this again. Like you could have said no. Just like bring your own paper, you know? Um,
It
yeah.
does take, yeah, it does take somebody feeling confident enough and secure enough to say like, "Oh, I'm not comfortable doing that." And
Yeah.
then if you have opened this conversation, and which again is like, I don't like it because it's like we're putting the responsibility on the hired person to have to fight back. And it's like, well, we just shouldn't have put those restrictions on somebody else or like, to begin with, right? That
Yeah.
like we have to say like, okay, you as the victim have to stand up for yourself. It's like that sucks. Let's just not bully people to begin with.
Yeah. And again, this is we're not blaming the artist that's taking the job. We're just blaming the agency that are like doing this predatory behavior. That are
Mhm.
like, and especially when it's like there's an artist to agency pathways, you know, they start to feel like, well, how am I gonna make more money? Then you're gonna do all those things that we mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
To as far as like white labeling the artists that you hire, they're just not like not great at all. And you know, human has desire, and their desire is to make more money, and it happens, and we know because once you start, you're gonna go to that route.
And I, speaking of the pathway thing, I also want to point out that like there seems to be a tendency for people who aren't as experienced, and they come to us and they say stuff like this in our DMs. They're like, "Oh, like um if you ever need somebody to like work on your team or something, like, oh, like this is my portfolio, like you can consider me." And it's like it's almost as if they expect the more experienced artists in the industry to be agencies. Like they think that that is the pathway to success, right? Like, oh, we haven't done enough jobs yet, and then once we do enough jobs, we are an established artist, and this is what we do now. And then after that, you become so good at your job, you can contract those jobs out, and then you no longer have to do them, and then you just get paid. It feel like, right, there is this assumption that this is the ladder that we are supposed to ascend to.
Yeah.
Whereas like when we look at it, we're like, huh, like I'm not doing that.
I still want to do this job.
I actually want to do this job.
Yeah.
And then when I can't do this job anymore, I'll just be like, here you go. Have fun. I quit. And then I'm not going to be here like, okay, how do I like try to capitalize on the connections I built? Like, those aren't just let it go.
Yeah, that's the argument that I had with someone. They don't want to do the job anymore. They don't want to do the live events anymore. So they're scaling up, quote unquote, by like, I'm just gonna hire other artists to do it because I have all these contacts. Good luck with that. Um, first of all, people are not gonna like you. Second of all, like there's a huge trust issue. Um, I don't know if it's like work out well, but yeah, if you can't do the job, don't do it. Do something else, do commissions, whatever. But like, don't try to like monopolize the market, the industry. Because no one likes it.
Like it's because they want to get jobs.
Yeah.
That's what sucks. That's what sucks
Yeah.
about it because, you know, as a society, even though even though we are outspoken on a lot our
Mm.
even though we are outspoken on a lot of things, we are
Mhm.
very polite on a lot of things. And we
Yeah.
are very like, oh, this is a great relationship. Oh, like thank you so much for letting me represent you. Oh, thank you so much for the opportunity. Then that like all this stuff. Like we're very polite with each other about this stuff.
Mhm.
But what we actually feel on the inside is a different story, right? Like when you're sharing this with the person you have a power imbalance with,
Mhm.
you're going to appease them. You're going to make it seem like you're happy about it
Yeah.
because there is a power imbalance. But
Yeah.
when there is no power imbalance, we are allowed to be honest. And then when we're peers, we can be like, oh, I don't like that. Or like, oh, this doesn't work for me. And maybe you're not gonna say those words, but you at least you feel like you have a voice or an opinion. And then when you share this experience with friends and other artists from other countries, other cities, you're gonna be like, oh, actually, like this happened, and then like that artist hired me, but like I didn't like it, right? Like you feel a different way inside, and that's the
Yeah.
that's the one that you have to listen to, where you're like, this doesn't feel right. I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like how they treated me for that. Um,
I also want to mention something else that I noticed in the illustration community. And I don't know if it's like becoming so normalized that I've come across this like many times. So in the illustration community, I don't know if it's a norm. I guess illustration has been around much longer than calligraphy and engraving. But when I have asked some people what their rates are for illustration, for live illustration, they would say, for an example, my rate is $400 an hour. But if I am being subcontracted as a second artist, I am happy to accept $200 an hour. No, we're not doing that. So
mm,
I'm going to propose to the client whatever your highest rate is, and if they'll accept or not, we don't know. We'll see. But I'm not gonna like I don't think you should be doing like, because I'm a second artist, I have like especially when your capacity and skill set is like almost like the same. I don't see why you need to be paid less.
and it's again one of this is the power thing, right?
Yeah.
It's like inherently they've implied that they're giving you a power,
Yeah, I
right?
do
They're
see
like
that.
they're like, hey, like thank you so much for this, and I'm like willing to do this because you are doing this for me, and it's like they're stating that they're acknowledging that you have power over them, which is
Mhm.
I don't want it.
I don't want it. It's no. We're equal. We're colleagues.
I'm not your boss.
I'm not your boss. You show up, I show up, we do the job equally.
We have fun.
We Yeah,
It's
we get paid
great. It's a
what
good
we want to.
time.
Exactly. We get paid what
Yeah.
we want to get paid. So no, I'm not gonna take advantage of you.
Mhm.
No way. I can't, in like my conscious mind. I cannot do that. And I don't think you should be okay with that either, you know?
Mm.
You shouldn't proactively offer that. Just to say, this is your rate. Your rate
Your
is your
rate
rate.
is your rate.
The rate is the rate.
The rate is the rate. I uh I hope she'll be okay with me telling the story, but like, oh man. Um there's been like times in the past where I'm almost like so uncomfortable with that power. I'm like, no, I'm gonna increase your rate because I don't like it. And I'm like, oh no, you're not getting paid that. Like,
Mhm.
I'm just gonna tell the client that you're asking what I'm asking because like I don't
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah.
Um, which like I felt bad about because I was like, well, like maybe like that their rate is their rate. That's the number they're comfortable with. And what if like I quote higher than they want, and then like we don't get the job for them, and it's because I quoted too high for them, or blah, blah, blah. And I have like this like mental gymnastics, but I'm just like, you know what? No, let's just like keep clean, right? And just like,
Mhm.
send it off. And I just tell the client like, oh, you can just like double whatever I have to make two artists happen, right?
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, like it's worked and has not worked. So it's like, again, on the whole, I feel like it works out because I just want to foster this relationship that like, hey, like I don't hold power over you just because I'm getting the lead and I am bringing it to you. It doesn't mean I'm better than you. It
Mhm.
doesn't mean that like it doesn't mean anything. It just like GPT spat out my name first, like, and then they email me first. Like, it doesn't, I don't hold it to some like golden, like, oh, it's because like I'm all that. Like, no, it's just the opportunity came to me and I need somebody to do the job with me. And I'm just gonna find the person who I feel like would be a good fit for the job and who I like working with, and then like let's go, right?
Let's
Um,
go.
you just want to create that relationship where like they feel like you know they're being valued and that going forward you're going to be happy working together and again,
Mhm.
not like in your shadow.
Exactly. Not even.
Right?
Everybody gets a spotlight.
Because we're just trying to think, how do I role model this for the community? How do I show other people how it can be done, that it could be healthy and
Mhm.
positive, and we all can share instead of compete? It's it's doable. You just it takes a little bit of a leap, a leap of faith. It
Yeah,
does.
it does. It really
Um,
does.
it really does. And sometimes it may or may not work out. Okay. That's what the leap is. Okay. Leap of faith.
Yeah.
But if it works out, it's like, well, aren't you so happy that you have this healthy relationship going forward? Like, I want to be part of that. That's what we're in this for, right? Like,
Mhm.
we're always talking about community, 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 blah, 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 blah. Like, we say it to death
Yeah.
and
Mean it.
and mean
Practice
it.
it. Yeah.
Practice it and show it and role model it. If you really feel like, wow, like on Instagram, we're always like, oh, I'm so glad like we found this community of like-minded people. And then we go and like backstab each other behind the scenes. Like, no, what is the point of that if you can't showcase that like we can be a community on the surface and on the inside too,
Mhm.
right? Um, and like the um the illustrator that I worked with, it's like two of them have said this to me. They're shocked. They're like taken aback when I said like I don't take a commission or like I don't anything, right? And
Mhm.
they're like, "Wait, what?" Like that's unheard of to me. Like I didn't think um that there would be a world that exists that somebody wouldn't try to take advantage of me. And I
Mhm.
was like, that's the saddest thing I've ever heard. And I'm so glad I didn't do that to you because now you don't have to believe that anymore.
Yeah.
Right. Um, and then she's like, no, like I just feel like I owe you something. And I'm like, okay, fine, you can owe me dinner. Like, let's go have
Yeah. That's
like
yeah.
right? Like, let's just make it a thing where it's not so unequal.
Yeah.
I have
It's
rambled again. I'm so
no,
sorry,
no,
but
no. I think no, no. It's a good story to share because you didn't realize that, like, to some people, it's an unlearning thing. Like, oh, I actually am valuable.
yeah.
Like I can actually charge that much. Like I don't have to have I'm not a second tier, you know, I am the first tier. Like we are
Yeah.
colleagues, we are the same level.
Yeah.
Therefore, like yeah, it could be also sometimes it could be from the cultural perspective too. Like maybe you came from that um place where that's so normalized, or maybe I don't know,
Yes.
maybe it was taught in like the art school. I have no idea, I've never been to art school, like, you know, but like, you know, that you have to give certain amount of money, like commission, to a shareholder or like a middleman in order for you to have your art being bought or like have your service being bought. But like, no, we're scraping all of that, unlearning all of that practices. We can
Yeah.
grow together as like, as successful artists in a very supportive community without, you know, taking advantage of someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's possible, but like unfortunately there's always some people who are, you know, looking into getting taking advantage of other people. And I've heard so many things and I'm just I used to be, honestly, I used to be like, oh, I get so discouraged by people who are trying to, like, you know, this artist to agent pathway. But I'm like, you know what? They can keep doing what they're doing. But I know that I'm privileged enough to like not having to work with them because I've have like a very strong network and of client base that I don't really need these. And then my SEO is really good. So my mission is then now to help my friends who are like my colleagues to, you know, like I just like, you know, like what you say, like role modeling, to do what I do, just like refer the job. And everyone else will see like, well, yeah, I'd rather be referred than like being subcontracted when they're not available. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the one thing I can do.
Yeah,
Um,
and it multiplies, right? As
yeah,
soon as you set that example, you're like, "Hey, I like sent a client your contact for October 30th because da, da, da." Then they're like, "Oh, I didn't know that that was
I think.
possible."
Yeah, yeah,
And then it's like you're teaching them like, "Hey, this is how we behave in this industry." Like, isn't that nice? Like,
yeah. And fight back. Like you can just push back people who like, you know, want to get commission because you refer the job. Because I've seen people who do that like earlier days, and I like people who are like also like surprised, like what, you would actually give me a list of artists? That's so nice of you. Yes, we're gonna definitely work with you whenever you're available next time. So like it's just, it's like it's a good um what is it, like a good feeling from the clients too, right? Like when they see that like they have such a good community that are helpful, you know, helping each other, and like it's just, it's win-win-win.
mm-hmm.
Nobody's resenting anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, we were rambling a lot about this like pathway. I
There's
think
too many feelings.
I know it's so much feelings. We've been holding on to these feelings for like 2 seasons ago. Like again, we we wanted to talk about this for so long. Um, I want let's end this topic by talking about what we wish could happen. What we wished agents would do.
Mhm.
Everything's the
Well,
opposite.
okay, actually, so this is for all agencies,
Hmm.
not just what we talked about in this episode, but like agency in general. We would love, 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 love wish list to see agencies offer like true value,
Hmm.
like they have a reason for being the middleman. Um, we kind of talked about it in the last episode where it's like, well, wouldn't it be great if your agency can like get you a fair rate or even better than that, right? And have like negotiating power on your behalf.
Hmm.
Um, let's say you're an artist who've been working with, you know, $180 an hour. And then an agency's like, hey, like we've got this job, and we're offering like $300 an hour. And you're like, whoa, that's nice.
Yeah.
Wouldn't we prefer to have that kind of relationship as like an agency is negotiating these jobs, providing these job leads, getting us better rates, and we do a good job for them. They come back to us. That's healthy, right?
Mhm.
And if we just talked about this 2 minutes ago, but like as far as like commissions go, they are charging the clients whatever they are charging the clients. That's their business.
Mhm.
But they're paying the artists the rate that they want to be paid at. And that would be a reasonable business that's
Mhm.
ethical. And then they hopefully come back to you. Like that's what we would like to see. That there's a healthier relationship where these things are satisfied and build successful relationships, and then they come back and hire the same artists
Mhm.
that they have a relationship with. That just
Yeah.
go like in a full circle there. Yeah, wouldn't that be nice
Well, that would be so nice if you could just do that.
if
Just
we could just do that?
negotiate. Yeah, that's just like it's just a slightly different business model, than like what we've seen.
Hmm.
And it seems hard, but it's really not. Right? Um, Another wish list if the agency would have some sort of quality control, um, so filtering and then maintaining high quality of artists, as opposed to like, just find someone who's new to this, so then it's cheaper.
Hmm.
I
It's
mean,
like it's an attitude thing, right? Like if they're searching for I've gotten this like weird agency lead once before where it was like somebody asked me for something that was like 2 days out, and they're like, "Oh, are you free to do this illustration job in LA?" And I was like, "What? In what world does this make any sense?" And they're like, "Oh, it's $100 an hour or something, right?" It's like, what? Why would I?
oh my God.
So yeah, this goes to the point of like, you are offering jobs to artists that make sense, maybe geographically, first of all, and the skill base that is most suited for the job. Like, we would like to see that. We would like to see that these hires are making sense and in a timely manner.
In a timely manner. And I guess I could see how hard that is because sometimes, yeah, like brands usually utilize agency because they're so last minute. So I know
Hmm.
like artists sometimes complain, how come these agents always hiring last minute? Oh, that's because the client hired last minute. That's why they need them. There's a reason why
Yeah.
they need the agent. And yeah,
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of hard to like have a quality control, getting the best artists out there when usually the best artists have already been like booked months or if anything a year in advance. So they're
Hmm.
kind of like they have to go with like someone who's available and it's not usually the most in demand, and it just doesn't seem like a win-win business situation. Ah. But yeah, it would be nice if they choose based on like not who
Whoever's
they can
available.
pay. Yeah. Not based on like, oh, this person's cheaper, so I'm gonna go. But based on the portfolio.
Hmm.
Like present that to the client. Know which portfolio that actually resonate with the client better. Not like, this person actually charges half of that. I'm sorry, this artist charges half than that artist. So
Hmm.
save so much money. Then that ideally we want someone to choose us for our portfolio.
Yeah. It's kind of simple. This
Yeah.
is the portfolio, and the client says, I like this one better. And then that's the one we hire, or that's the one we approach. Not
Mhm.
like some sort of like casting the net out into the sea and see what we catch.
Ah,
Eh,
yeah. So what's the conclusion here?
Well, the conclusion is that agencies kind of, I just don't know that they're super necessary in our industry because and we said this before, that like events are so like they're small ticket things.
Hmm.
They're like one time, 5 hours, and then it's done. And that relationship ends there,
Hmm.
right? Um, it's so easy for a client to just Google, like, hey, who is skilled at painting in Toronto? Bam, 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 bam. These are the options. Like, what more do we need to do?
Yeah,
We don't need, for the most part.
most
If
parts we don't.
yeah, if somebody's just hiring for a singular event, like, oh, we're doing a holiday party and we need somebody to come and do this thing, we're just gonna Google it. We're just gonna
Mhm.
GPT it, and then we're just gonna find a person. Hey, are you available? What does it cost? Okay, sounds good. That's it. It's a very short relationship, and it's a very easy transaction to manage, and
Yeah.
so it's just um we don't need them. And I just want everybody to understand that, like, it's okay that they exist. There's a lot of things that exist in the world that we don't need, right?
Mhm.
And it's okay that we do use them. And it's okay that they exist, but we should be conscious in our decision making
Mhm.
and informed that, like, these are the potential problems, and we have the power.
We have the power to say no. We have the power to educate. We have the power to communicate. We have the power to talk to our communities. What feels right? What doesn't feel right? What doesn't feel good? And we
Hmm.
have the power to voice that concern. And we have the power to mobilize that as well. Going into the right direction where you feel like you're being treated, compensated properly, without feeling like you're being used or taken advantage of, or
Mhm.
you know,
And just treat people the way you want to be treated.
yeah.
A lot of the stuff, like, we try to complicate it in business, like, oh, this makes good business sense to do. I would want to prevent competition because this is a good business reason to do this thing and that thing.
Mhm.
But it just, like, sometimes just go back to the basics. It's very simple. Just treat other people the way you want to be
You want
treated.
to be
It's
exactly simple
so,
as that.
yeah, just if you stick by that rule, like, you can't go wrong because that feeling sticks with you forever.
So anyway, well, thank you for letting us yap about it. We finally let it all out.
Yay! And we managed to do
Yeah,
it in
I
2 hours,
know.
maybe.
We did 2 episodes, 2 hours. That's great. Thank you for listening to our episode on agencies. Again, you can always DM us your experience, how you feel. Um, Follow us on Instagram, Event Ready Pod, if you haven't. And make sure you follow Isabel on Instagram as well. And you can find her on the website. You can find me on my website and my Instagram as well. We're here, and
We want to hear more stuff.
yeah, we want to hear more stuff. Like all these are, we wouldn't have this episodes without you guys are spilling teas to us, sharing your experience. So
It's an international tea exchange.
it is. It's an international relationship that we all have. I really do like our community. We're so open with each other, but our experience. So in a way where we want us all to grow, you know, with the least amount of hurdle as we could. So yeah. Well, thank you for staying, and we will see you next time.